Hello and welcome to the show. This is Despite, a TV show where we bring you interesting and amazing true life stories of people who have been able to live their lives despite the challenges and obstacles they get to face. My name is Mbaro Godwin Joseph, and in today's episode we are going to be bringing you the interesting story of Mr. Adeyemi Francis. Let's take a look.
My father was about to die. He called me into his room. He said, Adara, that is, it shall be well. I was born in Ikere Ekiti in the year 1958. My name is Adeyemi Francis.
For many parents, giving their children a sound education is a thing of pride because education opens the door to a better world. But for Francis Adeyemi, his case was different.
I had my primary school leaving certificate in 1971 in Ikere Ekiti. Then in those days, after primary school, you could either go to modern school or secondary grammar school. Those were the two options then. But unfortunately, again, because of financial difficulties, I could not go to any of the two. Because at that time, each candidate will pay £3 in modern school, and I think about £5 in the secondary school. My mom tried all her best. You know, but there was nothing she could do.
Although Adeyemi's father was wealthy, he never saw Adeyemi's education as a thing of importance.
So at a point, she approached my father. She approached my father that Baba, that's a father, that your son has gained admission to modern school, that he was asked to bring £3 tomorrow for the tuition. But my father said, "How? I don't have £3. I had no money. Where could I get £3?" But unfortunately, the father that had no £3, almost the following day, he spent more money, almost £20 on some other thing. So because nobody could pay the money, that is the £3 for the first time in modern school, so I could not go to modern school or secondary school.
So Francis was sent to learn carpentry from his uncle.
I was asked to stay with my uncle. That's my uncle, late Ijasan, Oweye Ijasan. I was asked to stay with him so that I could learn carpentry, because that man was a carpenter. So I was there for some time, learning the carpentry work.
After a while, Francis decided to take the road less traveled, the path of determination, as he took his education into his own hands.
I discovered that there was no way I could be learning carpentry and at the same time fulfill my desire to learn, to study. But at a point I left the place and I went to stay in my family house.
But Francis' success did not come without days and years of stressful and painful work, educating himself.
Having left that place where I was learning carpentry, it was my family house now that I started to read on my own. And there was no teacher, there was no instructor, so I did not attend any coaching center or any lesson or any tutorial. It was at home that I started to read on my own because of the yearning for learning, for education. Since I could not go to either modern school or secondary school, I started to collect books from people around. So I was reading. At a point, I wanted to get a correspondence course. But then After a while, I discovered that there was no difference between taking correspondence course and just reading on my own. So that was how I started to read on my own. I collected books from my brothers, from people around in all the subjects: mathematics, English language, economics, science, geography. So I started to read, and after a time that I discovered that, well, I could now sit for the GC. So I obtained the GC November, December then, and I sat for the GC examination. When the result came, I had credits in including mathematics and English language.
The end is now a happy story to be told.
That was how I got the school certificate. The interest for education still continued. So I got admission to the University of Lagos, and I read the mathematics. I had my master's degree in educational test and measurement.
As time passed by, Francis now understands the reason for his father's decision.
Being a polygamous family, there were pressures here and there. Particularly among the wives. And but my father, I discovered that he was really helpless. My assessment was that he was fighting against a power that was beyond his own, that he could not control. From what he told me, I discovered that he regretted not sending me to school.
Adeyemi Francis now has this to say:
God first. There's nothing anybody can become in life without God. That is my view. We know that with God, nothing shall be impossible.
Welcome back. So that was the story of Mr. Adeyemi Francis, who, despite what he had to go through, he was able to defy all odds and stand the test of time. Now he has a despite story to tell. Are you going through one thing or the other and you feel that you cannot make it? Remember, with God all things are possible, and you can make it with the help of God, and you have a despite story. My name still remains Mboru Godwin Joseph. Until we come your way next time, keep living the life and keep creating your despite story every single day. From all of us in the studio, we say bye for now.